Welcome, everyone, to day 14 of Giving Up Racism for Lent. Today, we're going to give up assuming that our intentions matter more than the impact of our actions. We tend to judge ourselves by our intentions, the intentions that are behind our actions, but we are judged by others based on the impact of our actions on them. This creates a gap in our awareness or understanding of how our actions are received. It creates a difference in the experience between the doer of the action and the receiver of the action. There are times when that gap is really small, when it's somebody you have a very close, long-standing relationship with, or when there is no significant difference in power and privilege. However, when there are differences in power and privilege between the doer and the receiver of an action, the gap can get significant. Drivers are things like differences across race, socioeconomic class, and gender. It becomes more likely that the gap will get wider the fewer identities that you share in common. And it becomes less likely that my actions will line up with my intentions, or the impact of my actions will line up with my intentions. A complicating factor is that racism self-perpetuates by hiding or minimizing its impacts from white people. This means that white people rarely get the feedback they need to understand how our actions impact others. Or if we do receive feedback, we often dispute or deny the truth being shared with us because we have never experienced racism. We can do things to try to increase the likelihood that our intentions align with the impact of our actions. We can do that by listening to and believing the experiences of people we are in relationship with that hold different identities than we do. We can do it by doing our own research on the lived experiences of others who hold different identities. There are plenty of opportunities to do this on social media. We can learn how to remain curious and open to feedback about others' experiences, which can include mindfulness practices such as nonviolent communication. And finally, we can build authentic, close relationships across differences. So here's your call to action. Commit to attending to the impact of your actions first, when someone lets you know that you have had a negative impact on them. Do this even if they let you know in a way that is hard for you to hear, like calling you out in a group situation. When this happens, notice and then resist the urge to explain your intentions. Instead, listen to what is being shared and acknowledge that person's experience as best you can. This is not the time to debate whether or not they should have been upset by your actions. It is enough to know that they have been. You can seek understanding later by either doing your own research or asking for clarity once the person who has received the impact has the capacity for that. You can also notice what comes up for you. Are you experiencing shame or embarrassment? And if so, seek support from someone other than the person who has been impacted by you to receive the compassion and understanding for your intentions that you're wanting.